If you're the parent of an autistic child and you've ever taken them to the dentist, you might have some emotional wounds from the experience. In this video, I'll share some helpful strategies to help make the experience less stressful and more successful. I have to confess, as we delve into this, that this was one of those challenges that took me and took us the longest to get over. I made so many mistakes. I will share them with you here, but I'll also share stories of successful visits that we've since had, but also that I've been able to help parents achieve. So if that sounds good to you, let's jump in. Here's what I've learned the hard way. There are no shortcuts. Preparation and slowly building up to a full visit based on what your child can tolerate is the only way to go. I'll share specifics about what that looks like. So first, here's what not to do. When my son was younger, we used to carry him into the exam room and hold him in a tight bear hug. And let me tell you, he had superhuman strength fighting back. Don't do that. As he grew bigger, maybe ages 6 to 10, it took 2 people to hold him down, and all of us wound up sweaty and bruised at the end of the visit, which lasted all of about 5 minutes and felt like an hour. Definitely don't do that. We also offered him some calming medication of the sedative variety, but not only did his nervous system override that, it almost seemed that it backfired, like somehow it fueled the intensity of his fight. So you can try that, but don't be surprised if their fear and flight and fight override any medication. So when he was 16, he wound up with an infection in his gums, right around his wisdom tooth. Putting to one side that in that emergency, the pediatric dentist refused to see him because of his behavior. That warrants an entire other video. It was infuriating. But my dentist agreed to see him and advised that he needed his wisdom teeth out. And that was its own nightmare. Today, he walks into the dentist office, sits back in the chair, follows all of the hygienist's instructions and the dentist's instructions, and walks out with clean, shiny teeth. So here's how we got there and how we've helped other parents lead their children through a successful dental visit. So it all starts with preparation. And remember I said there were no shortcuts? This is what that looks like. So it can start with books and videos rather than a trip to the dentist's office itself. Think about it. Think about how much anxiety we as adults often feel walking into a dentist's office. So a child who has no experience or little experience walking into an office like that doesn't know what to expect. So we need to help them understand and visualize what the experience is going to look like. By processing and visualizing the experience, it's helpful for them to see what a waiting room looks like, what the exam room looks like, what the chair looks like, what some of the tools that will be used look like. So it can make the whole thing less scary. If you can, even take pictures at the dental office where your child will be taken so they can actually visualize exactly what their experience will be. You might also consider purchasing some of those dental tools that are available in the drugstore to help your child touch them. You can even put them toward their mouth, not necessarily in their mouth, but start to give them the experience of what it's going to feel like. Next, be prepared to go to the dentist's office without having an actual dental visit. Sometimes it takes a few visits. The child goes and just sits in the waiting room and leaves. Another time they might go into the exam room, look around and leave. Then a third time might be they go and they sit in the chair and leave. I know it sounds exhausting, but it's much less stressful than having the fight time after time and not really even getting the proper dental exam. Next, try to figure out what parts are difficult for your child. So for example, for my son, laying back in the exam chair was very difficult. He felt very vulnerable. He couldn't articulate that, but we could see that that was the problem. That was a big problem. So we let him have an exam, a teeth cleaning even, in an upright chair. The hygienist was very accommodating and helpful and was able to do it that way, but it solved one of the big problems for him. For some children, the feeling of the vibration in their mouth is a problem. So you can get them a vibrating toothbrush or a vibrating speech and language toy that they sometimes use to help children learn to tolerate that vibration in their mouths. For other children, the noise is a problem. So you can allow them to wear either noise-canceling headphones or music that might drown out the other noise. So those are all ways to look to solve the particular problem that your child seems to be having the most difficulty with. Is all of this preparation inconvenient and exhausting? Yes, but it's less so than having your child so terrified that they melt down every time, and as they get bigger, we really can't help them. So it took us 20 years or so to undo the damage that we did when he was younger and to build him back up in small steps. Now, not all children require this level of preparation, but I'm hopeful that using this method to prepare your child can spare you 20 years or so of struggle. Hope that was helpful. I'll see you in the next one. If this was helpful, please consider subscribing. See you next time.